Bruno Mars.
I actually heard that many times before. But I'm actually a couple years older than Bruno Mars, so technically he looks like me.
Okay.
I'm here with the hosts of the talk, Sarah Gilbert, Sharon Osbourne, Cheryl Underwood, Eve, and newest addition, Carrie Ann Inaba. First off, Carrie Ann, you just joined the show full time in January. Now, with your Dancing with the Stars background, I just want to know, have you docked your co-hosts points yet for any unauthorized lifts?
I know, I am the lift police on Dance with the Stars. It's so nice here. I don't have to dock anybody. Everybody can dance. Even Sarah's got the moves.
Wait, unauthorized lift?
Yeah, on Dancing with the Stars, I always knock people off if they do an unauthorized lift.
Why is it unauthorized?
Because it's illegal. They're not supposed to do lifts because it keeps the playing field level for people that are older or weaker or smaller frame, so that everybody's on the level playing field. That's why I dock them every time.
Yes, yes.
But I don't have to do it here.
Because she can't lift me.
Well, I mean, now that you're on the talk, is there any chance that we might see any of your fellow talk co-hosts compete on Dancing with the Stars sometime in the future?
Oh, yes.
I'm voting for Sarah.
My parents have been answered. I would love it if any one of them came on the show. It would be so great.
No one wants to see me on that show.
No, I think
It would be
amazing.
amazing.
I think you'd be amazing.
Yes.
I think you'd be amazing.
Although, Carrie Ann, you might have to recuse yourself from judging those particular dances.
Oh, no. I can judge fairly. Yeah, I can judge people that I care about and love.
Yeah.
I mean, Carrie Ann had guest hosted the show before it became official that she would be filling that fifth chair. Was it always clear that this would be the ideal fit for that hosting spot? Yeah, I mean, it does seem like the chemistry seems just very clearly there always at all times.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been incredible since Carrie Ann's been coming for a while, and the chemistry's always been amazing. And I think over time, it just became undeniable that when she was here, it felt more right and more like home than when anybody else filled in.
And she got to come enough times that it wasn't like a one-hit wonder. So each time she came, it was more comfortable, more secure that this is where she should be.
And having worked together with her and hosted with her in the past, did it just feel like kind of just such a smooth and easy transition once it became official, or did it feel a little different once it was one of the official final five?
It was just a whole very natural progression, the way it all happened. It was just meant to be.
Yeah. And when the chemistry is right, it makes it exciting to come to work. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Mm-hmm. Same way when you got here.
No, it was for me, I guess, with Carrie Ann coming, I was still the newbie, but kind of going out. But I felt like that new energy with Carrie Ann, but also because she'd been here before me even, it was just so comfortable. Yeah.
We're family.
Yeah. So comfortable.
But Eve, now that you're not the new kid on the block anymore, you sort of get to be the sophomore hazing the freshman, maybe.
No hazing.
Not in this school.
No.
The circumstances around filling that fifth chair were somewhat complicated, of course, by last year. Julie Chen, of course, announced that she was leaving the show to focus on her family after allegations against her husband, Les Moonves. For such a tight-knit show, such a tight-knit cast as you all are, how difficult was that whole process for everyone?
I mean,
I would say you always have to let someone go and go their own way and take their own path. And I think we're all women enough and friends enough to understand that. But what we're talking about is what's happening now and what's going on today. And we're happy and blessed to have had her and Aisha Tyler here. But now we're talking about this spot.
And after another year, fraught with politics and headlines. The show handles so many hard-hitting subjects. Were there some topics that were especially emotional or difficult to cover in the last year that you all found especially challenging or that really hit you?
Sometimes we see videos of people doing sort of crazy things, and I think it hurts our heart to see some of these things that we have to look at and make commentary on. And I think it's really important that we make commentary on it so that maybe those things don't happen. I think, even though it's hard to watch and hard to witness some of these stories, it's important to share more of a positive outlook or try to help people learn and grow so we don't make the same mistakes.
Yeah, and to also have compassion. I think that's one thing that we all do very well, is regardless of what we're talking about or who we're talking about. Even if we make some levity of certain things, we never want to hurt someone's feelings. Right. So we always try to lead from compassion.
And so from the selection of topics, what would you think would be the component of what we're looking for in topics that we feel we can bring what we do to the talk table?
Well, I always think the best topics are the ones where we have personal stories. I think strong opinions can be great. Intelligent conversation is great. But when people have stories from their own life, I'm always the most interested in that.
Mm-hmm. But the show, of course, is also incredibly fun and lighthearted in so many ways. The Halloween shows are always a yearly highlight. What other episodes and moments did you all find especially fun and like a relief, that respite from the daily headlines?
Well, I thought when Kobe Bryant was here, that was great. He was such a good talker, so dynamic, so intelligent, and I felt that was just a fun show to do.
He's such a great example for other young men.
Yes.
He's got an amazing family. He is not one of these guys that just wants to take his community. He's a really good person.
But I think that the guests that come here, when you look at T.I. and then you look at Jane Fonda, you look at Lily Tomlin, I think one of the things that I really appreciate for these ladies is that when the guests come, they go, "It's over? It's time for you to go?" Because we're talking about a lot of different things, and I think the audience gets to know them. And
speaking of that, those names what I love is the diversity of the people that comes to the show, whether it's a new and up and coming or a legend, and that's been great for me. I've been a fangirl for a lot of people that have come on this set. So it's been incredible to have those people here. I mean, for me, even getting to reconnect with someone like Gwen Stefani when she came and performed. I hadn't seen her in years, and it was actually really nice to see her and introduce her. It was fun. I don't know. We have a good time here.
And what do you think about like when Bibi Rexha came? Remember when she came and she was just so much fun, and now she's in the news, and we get to talk about topics with her. But having had her come here and say that she was a fan of this show, that's very much appreciated. You being raped? What's going on?
The Daytime Emmys nominations are coming up soon, March 20th, again to be announced on The Talk, as has become a kind of annual tradition. The show just won last year for the second time, Best Entertainment Talk Show. So what are your thoughts going to this year's nominations and feelings, not just for, how this show will do, how The Talk will do, but everyone else in the daytime community?
Well, we've just felt so honored, recognized in the past. We don't go in with any expectations. We're happy with what we have, and we're happy for other people when they share in the joy and good feelings of being nominated or winning. So we're really rooting for everybody who's eligible. I will say, it's always nice when you have someone new like Carrie Ann is with us, you want at some point, whether this year or a subsequent year, you want her to share in the joy of getting a nomination. So I would love that.
It's true, because it was nice when I first started. I was like, this job is amazing. Yes, I want you to feel the same thing.
I feel that I'm in a community in daytime, and I love to see all the other shows like The Real. I was so happy when those ladies won last year.
They were so excited.
I love those ladies, and Jeannie is like a friend of our families, and I was just to see that little face, and it was just, it's just great, you know. And we're all so different.
Yeah.
Each show has a, you know, they have a different face in daytime. You know, we all try and do our best, and it's great when other ladies win.
That's right. Remember when we wanted Whoopi sent us those beautiful flowers, but we also wanted people to know that daytime is a family. So when it was time to say goodbye to Christoph St. John, you know, it was a very poignant, bittersweet feeling. A lot of people think that daytime is not where careers grow, but it is where dreams come true, and we're proud to be part of the daytime family.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite things about daytime TV in general is how much of a family it seems like. I sort of think of it like if the entertainment business as a whole is like a giant city, then you know, daytime is this small town where everyone knows each other's name, and you all know each other's experiences, and you all share each other's kind of joys and successes. You know, getting to host then the announcement of the Daytime Emmy nominations, does it feel like you're almost kind of hosting a family get together?
It's like, you know, it is such a tight community, and it's like at the event every year we see everybody. It's time. It's like your own personal party, because you know everybody there. Everybody's happy to be there, and it's just a great community to be a part of. It's not like late night where everybody's very, very competitive. And it's just a whole different vibe in daytime.
And you know, what would it mean to everyone to maybe, you know, to get number 3 best entertainment talk show yet again?
Oh, we're not worried.
Right. And I don't
kidding.
know.
We want
Well, you know.
obviously, listen, at the end of the day, we would be lying. We're human. Of course, that's something you would want. But, you know, we, like as Sarah said, to just piggyback a little bit, is like we go in doing what we know how to do, and we do it to the best of our ability. And we do, and we keep our eyes on what we're supposed to do and to make the best show we can make.
That's right.
And if people recognize that, amazing. But that's not going to take away from what we do and how we do it.
That's right.
It's not going to like spoil our shows for the rest of the year. It's just to win. It's not just for yourself. It's for our whole crew, because we can't do this without our producers, our crew, everybody that's involved in making the show. And I think that when the show wins, it's great for everybody. Not just us. It's everybody that makes it possible for us to be here.
And you know, what do you have? You know, anything coming up in the coming weeks on the show that you can tease that you're especially excited about, that isn't necessarily a big secret, or that can't be let out of the bag?
We just saw.
Right?
Yes, baby. Listen, we just did in the promo.
We just somebody's coming on. Who's it now?
Colin Farrell. I'm trying to figure out how much weight can I lose by the time he gets here. You're so happy.
But you know what's fun too is that since we're the single end of the table, we're very happy and appreciative that something delightful can come sit down with us.
I love him. He's mine.
Yeah.
That's it.
We're gonna let
You see, nobody is fighting for the Emmy, but it's
Right.
Oh, excuse me, I gotta stretch out.
Oh yeah, Avril Lavigne.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
But we can't say anything because that's complicated.
I see what you did there. Well, I have to say that I actually interviewed Colin Farrell on one of these types of deals. He's very lovely.
Yes.
I think you will.
Yes,
Yeah. When we went off, he was like, "Oh, the ladies on the talk. I need to be on that show immediately, and then I need to be on." Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, are you pulling my leg?
I'm pulling your leg, but if it was like 2 years ago, but I'm sure he was thinking it. Well, I mean, it's been such a pleasure talking to the five of you, and it's clear why everyone enjoys watching you from day to day. It's such a great dynamic you guys have, and best of luck in the Emmy nominations coming up for you and everyone else in daytime. Thank you guys so much for talking to me today.
Thank you
you.
so much for having us.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.